and today I am with RissieBlog!
Woo! Look at all the Halloween.
Look at this!
Look at these. They're just like
aesthetic. RissieBlog. Well, Karissa. Do people call you Karissa?
Yeah.
Real people talk to her as Karissa.
Yeah.
YouTube community calls her RissieBlog. She has a beautiful blog and a beautiful channel that is DIY, cooking, lifestyle.
Yeah.
So cute. So many goals. We finally got together and we're filming videos.
We're here, like first of all, we just met officially face to face, but we've been probably like following each other online for a while now. So we're like so excited because we're actually in the same place.
Finally. We just filmed a video over on her channel. We filmed these really yummy boozy butter beers, and we talked shop about Harry Potter and what house we'd be in, and then just New York. If you're gonna hear sounds of New York, guys, that's culture.
You just cannot mute out the sounds of New York. It just doesn't happen.
And you know what? If we lived in LA, there would be different sounds.
Yeah.
This is the sound of New York.
You do you, New York.
For my video today, I thought that it would be really fun if we do the scariest things challenge.
Ooh.
Not challenge, tag.
Tag.
Scariest things tag. Ooh. You know, this kind of reminds me of like when you would go trick-or-treating and then you'd pour your bag out and you'd separate all the candies. And then you would just like talk about like, do you ever see ghosts? So that's kind of what we're doing. We've got a whole bunch of candy here. We're just gonna eat some candy, get a sugar rush, continue to drink our boozy butter beers, and just answer some questions.
I love it.
So let's get into it. This is the scary thing tag. This is adulthood. You find times when you just drink in the middle of the day, eat candy, and then you're like, I got work tonight.
Yeah, girl.
But not right now.
Yeah, girl. It is funny because I feel like when you're a kid, people are like, oh, when you're an adult, you know, you gotta take everything so seriously.
And you're like, excuse me while I eat this
Pez.
Pez.
Make boozy butter beer and get ready for going to work.
Okay, number one, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
Reese's.
I love it. I would count these out when I was a kid and people were like trying to barter me for some Reese's. I'm like, absolutely not.
Nope.
I would get so mad when my mom would eat it and she'd be like, I need to make sure it's not poison. I'm like, I know it's not poison. If it is, I'll risk it.
You know those, like, did you ever get the king size Reese's packs? Did anyone ever hand that out? We had one house.
Like they like gave you like the slab, like the thing that has like 3 in it?
No, it had like 4 or 5. Like it was like a massive thing of Reese's. I know. There was one house in my neighborhood that gave this out consistently every year. That was my favorite house.
We're gonna have Monday.
I was like, I will be there so fast.
Oh
Ding dong, trick or treat. I want my Reese's king size.
Honey, you're a week early. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Give that candy. There was one house that was like that. They would give out like big crunch bars or things like that, and I did appreciate them. I was like, I'm happy I found you. But then there were a lot of houses that would just give you like pens, and I'm like, look.
Yeah, like
I'm still learning my ABCs. I'm using crayons.
Yeah.
I don't need this yet.
There was a house in our neighborhood where the woman was a writer. And so she thought it was cute to give out pencils for Halloween. Not cute.
Because also the pencils that you give out on Halloween don't have the good erasers.
Yeah.
So when it's not like they're giving out Ticonderogas and you're like, I appreciate, I'll actually use this. But you get the ones with like the crappy eraser, you're like, what am I gonna do with this?
And like she would sometimes give out like Halloween pencils. I'm sorry, the next day, Halloween is gone. I can't use this pencil. First world problems.
For real. Okay, so shall we start this tag? So the first question of the scariest things tag is, what is your scariest real life experience? We're gonna get to know each other today.
Yeah. One thing that comes to mind, which is not the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, but it was scary.
Okay.
So we went to Florida on a family trip when I was like 9 years old, and we stayed at a certain Disney hotel that was not in Orlando. It was like in another place.
Okay.
On a swamp.
Oh.
And I just remember walking. It was one of those hotels where you like walk outdoors.
Okay.
And then to get to the hotel room, you were like never really inside. It was like an outdoor hotel type thing. You walk through this one like mini outdoor hallway. Okay. And the lights are flickering. And you can't really see. And then the light like fully turns on, and I kid you not, the entire walls were covered with saucer spiders, which are these spiders that are about this big. I don't like spiders. Anything where I can see like eyeballs or anything is like so I just have such a hard time with it. I did not sleep the entire time we were there. And like,
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
It was, my dad took a shower the next day, and there was a wolf spider in the shower with him.
How is this place not condemned?
I know, right? And we were all just kind of like in shock about it. We're like, what? And then I think we ended up leaving early because,
you know, it's not a vacation if you can't sleep. Yeah. Okay, this one was pretty scary.
Yeah.
So I was little. I don't remember how old I was. I was taught when I was younger to, like, when you answer the phone, you speak up. And when I would call anyone, when I would call a friend to like ask about a play date, I'd be like, hi, this is Emily, can I please speak to Jordan? So I always expected the person to do the same thing on the other line. And when they didn't, I was just like, you don't have manners. So this one time I picked the phone and I'm like, hi, and they're like, hi, I need to speak to your mom. And it was a man's voice.
Yeah.
And I was just like, who may I ask is calling?
Yeah.
I need to speak to your mom. Put your mom on the phone. And it was like a really aggressive voice. And I was just like, okay, but who's calling? Like, because I wasn't home alone, but I was the only one downstairs. I think my mom was upstairs.
Yeah.
And I felt super alone. I started to panic because I was like, this is really scary. But I didn't know that it was okay to just hang up the phone if someone's being freaky. And they just kept saying the same thing, like really aggressive, like, I know where you are. Put up. And I was like, ugh. And I think eventually I just hung up the phone. And I didn't even call for my mom. I just kind of like stood in shock. And it was so scary. I'm like getting freaked out thinking about it now. And the phone rings again. I think I just listened to this, like, the audio tape I was telling you about. Of, like, scary stories to tell in the dark. And if you've ever heard or read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, there's a really scary one about a babysitter where there's like a killer upstairs that's calling the house line. And so I think I was just like, oh my gosh, and I hung up the phone and I was just like, oh my gosh, there's someone in the house or something. Because that's where my brain goes, not like, oh, it's automatically killer, but like murder, murder. The phone rings again and I pick it up and I hear laughter. And I'm like, who is this? And it's my brother. And he goes, Emily, that was me calling. You're the worst! And he was just like, I can't believe you like stayed on the phone that long. Hang up sooner. I was like, you're trying to teach me a lesson?
Like, that is rude.
You are the absolute worst.
What's your brother's name?
John.
Rude, John.
I know. No wonder my anxiety now is like, I'm like, what? Someone calls, I'm like, what do you want?
I know. Anytime someone calls me, I'm like, what do you want?
I'm like 866, I don't know this number.
Yeah.
Because if it's important, you'll call me right back or you'll leave a voicemail. Unless it's like casting and then you're like, that might have been a part. Damn it.
There have been times where I don't pick up and I'm like, ooh, that could have been like a now or never casting
moment.
Like,
we want you to be in the next thing. You know?
Yeah, like,
Scariest paranormal experience. Okay, number one, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Okay, I do too. Great, hands up.
Yeah. My childhood home was built in a neighborhood that was built on an Indian burial.
Stop it! Stop it! No! No! That's the scariest thing ever.
I know! Again with like people, I'm like, why? Why would you build a neighborhood on an Indian burial ground?
Because we're Americans, we suck. I would hump their ass too! I know! I'd be like, screw you.
Yeah, screw you.
Scariest experience not being able to curse on YouTube.
Yeah. Our whole neighborhood had these like
now I'm terrified.
I know. Had these like really crazy things happen. And whenever we had block parties or anything, people get together and you think like a block party should be like people partying and stuff. It would end up being the whole neighborhood being like, what weird thing happened to you? And they would just like come together and start talking about it. The one that stands out in my mind that was just like one of the most terrifying moments. It was early in the morning and me and my brother and my mom were all in the kitchen and she was packing our lunches for the day. And we had this island in the middle of our kitchen and we were all standing on the same side of it. Now to kind of paint the picture. So we were like, had our kitchen, there's an island, we're standing on one side. If you're standing at the island and look down this way, there's this long hallway that leads to the door out to the garage.
Okay.
So you can like see the door from the island. So my mom's packing her lunches and we're talking and we hear that door open and slam and all of our heads like snap in that direction.
Oh my god, I'm getting chills.
Yeah, and my mom's like, she's like, did you guys just hear that? And we're like, yeah. But we were looking at the door and it was closed. And go back to packing lunches. Door opens and slams again. Not that it opened and slammed, we just hear the noise of it happening.
Yeah.
All of our heads, oh my god, I'm getting chills. All of our heads snap over. We hear footsteps walking towards us down this hallway as we're staring down the hallway and no one is there. As it starts getting closer, my cat runs into the hallway and starts batting at the air.
Oh, no!
Yeah. I literally have goosebumps right now thinking about it. Yeah.
Your cat is like, I'm going to
She's like, oh no, get out of here. She starts batting at it and it stops. My mom walks down the hallway, like totally freaked out, walks down, looks at the door. The door is locked. There's no one there. No one could have like possibly, it was like the weirdest moment. Yeah, so that like stands out, but we had things like the lights would flick on, all the TVs would go on, and the fans would start going really fast all at the same time, and like you'd hear something just like run past at moment, like things like that. It was weird.
Okay, so for me, I'm a full believer. It wasn't scary, but definitely happened, and I have video proof. Am I gonna show it? Maybe I'll put it in this video.
Yeah, you should. 3
of my grandparents passed away within the same year when I was like really young. My mom's mom was like, she loved to sing.
Yeah.
So whenever I like was doing plays and stuff like that, like I always kind of felt her there and like super like with me.
Yeah.
And a couple of Christmases ago, like 2 or 3 Christmases ago, I was learning a song on the piano and singing it because I was like making a gift for Gabe because he was far away. So I was like making him a song and video that I could like send him as a present. But I need to practice like with a camera in front of me so I'm not like freaked out and playing and stuff. So I was practicing with, it was when I would film on my iPad, and so I just had my iPad on the piano facing me and I'm playing.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to play and like I didn't feel anything, but I just kind of like felt good about it, and I was just like, okay, this is like not bad, like I'm not doing terrible.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I'm vain and I watch my own videos and I like go back and I'm watching the video, and as I start playing and really as I start singing, like I'm playing the intro, and then I start singing, and in the background of this video, there's a pink light that just shoots through. And then it shoots through again. And I was just like watching it, and I'm like, what's that? I'm like, what's that? And it was daylight, and it didn't really look, look like dust that had fallen, because it had a trajectory. It like went from one side of the screen to the other. And it was so weird. And I remember another time that I was like shooting like a video just like on my iPhone to Gabe.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like there was a white, I don't know where that video went, but there was like this pink light that just like went through the video. And I didn't feel like my house was haunted or anything like that, but it's just like,
especially like while you're singing.
Yeah, and it's only, I've never seen it in any of my other videos when I'm like, even when I'm singing in my other videos, like I've never seen it happen. But that my grandma loved our old piano room because like she would sit there and read there. I like told my mom and I showed her the video, and my mom's like, that's so funny because I've just been thinking about her a lot lately, and it's been like, you know, 15 years, but like she's always thinking about her. And then I guess my mom was telling her sister like what had happened to me, and she's like, Jennifer, that's so weird. Jennifer's my mom's name. Jennifer, that's so weird because I felt mommy this week too. My grandma always wore this very specific smelling perfume. It's called Shalimar. So my aunt was in her cubicle and she said she smelled like a huge gust of Shalimar. And it's so specific that like you know that smell when you smell it. And she stood up. She's just like me. She just like goes right for it. She's like, who's wearing Shalimar? Who just sprayed it? And all the women in her office are like, no, I don't wear that. And she's like, no one in her office has sprayed it. So it's like she smelled that in the same week that like I saw that light, and it just kind of felt like she was there with us, like that Christmas. But it doesn't feel like a paranormal. It wasn't scary.
Well, it's one of those things that like gives you chills for like just because it's like
I was like, she's there. And I mean, I think the house that my parents live in now is haunted, but we won't speak of him. The person who it's like, the house is named after him. And like the old owners are like, have you felt anything? I'm like, you shut your mouth.
Like we do not.
We don't speak about that.
No.
My mom's like, he protects the house. I was just like, I don't know that. I don't know his life. Scariest movie you've ever seen?
I have to say, the movie that freaked me out the most when I first saw it, I was also way too young to see this movie when I saw it.
Same.
And still freaks me out so much, I think because I had this deep-rooted fear of it from watching it so young.
I wonder if it's the same movie.
Is it?
Shut up! I just said yes! I just screamed in your face. I'm so sorry.
No! Of course! Oh my god, we're like the
Did
same
you watch
person.
it on TV?
Yes!
What if we watched it the same day?
Girl. I remember my mom was like, don't watch that, and I watched it and I was like, I can't stop watching this though. I'm so scared, but I can't stop watching it. And then I had nightmares for like a week about it.
I saw like a quick clip of Stephen Curry's laugh tracks, like every time he laughed, and they showed him laughing at it, and I was like, no.
I'm sorry. He is such a good actor. He is scary as in that movie.
You think about it, you're like, there could be a psycho living in the underground.
Yeah.
Like, now.
Yeah.
Oh, this one will be good for you.
Okay.
Does your hometown have any scary stories or legends? I feel like you're gonna have some good ones.
Most of the things that I remember, at least, had to do with my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. Some of the other stories in our neighborhood, I know, like I specifically remember this one woman talking about how everything that happened to her was over the phone. She would get these phone calls and she'd pick up the phone and it'd be someone just like breathing into the phone.
No.
Totally freaked her out. And she was telling like her family and friends and stuff, and people weren't believing her. This one time, I guess her sister called her and she's talking to her sister and they hear, do you remember back then when someone would pick up a phone downstairs and you'd like hear it?
You'd hear the click.
You'd hear the click. So they heard the click and then they just hear someone breathing into the phone. And her sister's like, she's like, I don't have anyone home. Is like, you know, your son or something? Did he just pick up the phone? And her kids are like out in the backyard playing. Her husband's not home.
No.
And she's there and they hear the click turn off.
No!
I know I've talked about this before and that you don't believe me, but this keeps happening to me. They like have this whole conversation, hang up. Phone rings again. She thinks it's her sister. She picks up and someone's just like really deep into the phone, like really deep breathing, and she like hangs up right away. The phone rings again. She picks up and there's a click and it's like gone.
No! My college had some urban legends going on. So it's like a small liberal arts school. Okay, so I guess there's two, urban legends.
Yeah.
So probably the oldest dorm is called Brown, and Brown is now an all-girls dorm.
Okay.
I lived there. I mean, it had the biggest rooms. The rooms were gigantic, the ceilings were super high.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, it was amazing
awesome.
for a first dorm. But since it was the oldest, like really the oldest dormitory on campus, it had its own little history to it.
Okay.
Because it used to be an all-boys school. Apparently, one of the students committed suicide in the building.
Yeah.
Like in the attic of the building. No one's like allowed in the attic except the RAs, I guess, get like this tour at the beginning of their like thing. I don't know why they get this tour. Yeah. I think they get the tour of all the places that you're not allowed to go. Like, so I think they went to like the bottom.
I want to be on that tour.
I know. So they like went to the frat house that like had some rooms that are not okay and like things like that where like things may have gone down. Yeah. But then they also got a tour of like the upstairs. So my friend Haley went up there and she said it was like super creepy. She's like, and she was the RA of our dorm my freshman year. So like she lived in the building where like all this stuff. So people would say that they would hear footsteps and stuff like that. Our bathroom was like the only bathroom that like wasn't renovated because it was like they just kind of didn't renovate it.
Yeah.
But it definitely had this feeling that someone was watching you while you were showering.
Ooh, that's creepy in the bathroom.
It was weird. It was very like Moaning Myrtle. Like I was just like Myrtle. I kept living with my friend Haley because she was an RA, so she'd get like, and she was a yearbook, so she'd get like the cool housing. My friend Alexa and I would go live with her in these newer parts of school. Apparently, this guy that helped build either parts of the campus or parts of the gardens lived on campus too. He had a house. Yeah. And when he passed, the only thing he asked was that nobody take down his rose bushes, because rose bushes were like his thing. Yeah. And I think it was like a written agreement, like in his will, and like you know, my college agreed to it. Well, somehow I don't know what happened. If it was just like years later, I don't really know the whole history. Yeah. But those rose bushes were taken away, and these new buildings were put like where they were. And I lived in the dorm. I lived in the dorm where like shit was going down, and it wasn't always when I lived there, so that's why sometimes I'm like, And like our theater offices in our theater building where I had most of my classes were like right next door. Yeah. And in the theater, lights would just go off and go on. Like we were in the dance studio and we were like having a rehearsal, and all the lights except one spotlight went on, and it was like. Or that room would get so cold until you moved a little bit and then you're just sweating, but then you stopped moving and you were freezing. It's like weird temperature things would happen, so I don't remember what his his presence was like known, and there's a lot of people on my campus that are like, oh, I've seen things in that building.
Oh my
I've seen things have happened.
It just reminded me of like one other kind of weird story.
Go
So my friend Brayden, who might be watching this, but he was living in this apartment, and I remember going over to their apartment, and they're like, yeah, there has to be this kid next door named like Owen or something, some random name. Because we always hear the mom yelling at him. She's always like, oh, Owen, like, put away your things, you know? So they, at the end of that summer, moved apartments, and Brayden was cleaning out his room, and the way his room was, the wall would go up, and then there was like a little ledge at the top. And so he went up there to just like clean up there, and there's all of this children's artwork. Boy drawn says Owen on it. And like,
so he thought it was a neighbor's kid?
Yeah. They thought it was like their next door neighbors, that they could like hear it through the walls, you know?
If I go home haunted now, I'm gonna be like, hey, it's Cousin Karissa. That's basically all the questions of this tag. There's one more, but it's like, what's your favorite urban legend? But I feel like our stories are better than the urban legends. Because the urban legends are what made me terrified. Like, I always think that there's someone in the backseat with a cloak. I feel like that's an urban legend. You're like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many scary stories. I was not expecting this video. I don't know, I just like didn't expect all the scariness.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I do too. All right, well, I think that's it. I think that's all we have for.
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun.
I'm thoroughly terrified.
I know.
All right, guys, well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely go over to Karissa's channel, RissieBlog. I will put all of her info down below, as well as the link to our video. Make sure to follow both of us on all of our social media. Hers will be listed down below. Mine's always on the screen. Go follow it. And
wait, I have something. If you have a scary story, let us know what it is in the comments below.
Oh my god. Maybe we'll do another one of these, because I just want to hear all of her stories.
Yes.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, love, subscribe.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.